Hello, everybody. It is Big Cheds. I'm coming to you on a Monday, August 2nd, 2021. This is lesson 5 in the 50-part free series on my best-selling book, Trading Wisdom, 50 Lessons Every Trader Should Know. When the book came out, a lot of people asked me if there was an audible version, and I didn't have one. I still don't have one. So I thought, maybe I can do something for you folks on YouTube, something to listen to, something to watch. There were also a lot of people who were unable to buy the book kind of based on, restrictions in their country. So this is a way for me to get this content out to you for the folks who can't buy it, for the folks who can't afford it, and for people who just want something, a companion series, something to go with the book. So I would encourage you to go back and watch the first 4 lessons that come before this. Those are found on my YouTube channel. I, of course, am Cheds at Cheds Trading on YouTube. And I have the playlist, 50 Lessons Every Trader Should Know. Most people know me from Twitter. That's probably where I'm most well known. You can find me at Big Cheds. I'm also a founding analyst at Bitcoin Live, the best-in-class educational platform for crypto. If you're interested in kind of taking your trading to the next level, kind of understanding classical charting, Japanese candlesticks, trading psychology, all the stuff I talk about, definitely encourage you to check that out. As I mentioned before, this is a free video series on my book, Trading Wisdom. It's available now on Amazon in Kindle and paperback format. Just so you know, before I wrote this book, I did publish another book, My Battles with Cancer. I am a lymphoma survivor, a cancer survivor, and I have my book, My Battles with Cancer. If you know anyone who's dealing with cancer or has a loved one who is, just let me know, and I'll go ahead and I'll email you a copy of my cancer book. I mentioned you can find me, of course, on YouTube at Ches Trading. I also have a series of educational live streams, and I'm going to do one of those every 6 weeks. I save my analysis for Bitcoin Live, but every 6 weeks I'm going to do one of these long-form educational live streams, so go ahead and check that out as well. We'll go ahead and let's jump right into the book. The format, basically, I'm going to read the introduction and the About the Author section each time. I don't know exactly how many videos each of you are watching. So just to give you a sense kind of who I am and, what we're doing here. So we'll jump right in. And about the author. I love trading and have been doing it for many years. My formal training is with Japanese candlesticks and classical charting. And I'm certified as a CMT, Chartered Market Technician Level 1. My educational background in psychology and brief career as an amateur poker player also guide my approach, paying proper respect to risk management and the study of one's opponent. On Twitter is where I am most well known and can be found at Big Cheds. I am also a proud founding analyst at Bitcoin Live, the best-in-class educational platform for crypto. This is my second book. My first published work was a memoir titled My Battles with Cancer, a candid patient and caregiver's memoir. Introduction. My early days of trading were filled with frustration, confusion, and constant losses. After making some of the same mistakes over and over again, I began to adapt and learned a few tricks to minimize my losses. As I began passing these tricks on to my fellow traders through my Twitter account at Big Cheds and blog, chedstrading.blogspot.com, it launched me on a path of learning and teaching. With enough time, that path led to dedicated studies of Japanese candlesticks and classical charting, and ultimately CMT certification. This book is also a natural extension of my complete beginner's guide to trading that I wrote back in 2017 when I was undergoing chemotherapy for lymphoma. I subsequently beat my cancer and wrote a book about that experience, and have since continued to grow in my journey as a trader and teacher. Building on my years of work with my Twitter account, learning blog, and various other writings on trading subjects, I am happy to now bring together in one place all those bits and pieces that have helped to make me a successful trader. I have personally made every single mistake mentioned in this book multiple times, believe me, multiple times, and therefore can speak from the heart, which I hope helps make each lesson a little bit easier to learn. Thank you for reading, and best of luck with your journey. Best of luck in your journey. So last time we did Wait for Opportunity, lesson 4. We're going to do lesson 5 today. Go easy on yourself. And in 3 weeks, we will do lesson 6. Just kind of a little preview here. You can see what some of these lessons are. I will eventually do the entire book for free. You'll just have to be patient. It's going to take about 3 years, but I'll get the whole thing out. So, lesson 5. Let's see what we've got here, friends. So, lesson 5, go easy on yourself. Starting out the chapter with a quote. It is important to have a short memory and forgive yourself for poor trading decisions in the past. The alternative is bankroll ruin from a self-fulfilling prophecy of failure. So, like I started out with, it's important to have a short memory and forgive yourself. So it's like if you really get hung up on your mistakes and all you can do is think about your mistakes and you can't forgive yourself for making those mistakes, you're never going to make it because you're just going to be stuck in that. And you have to accept that you're going to make those mistakes, and that's part of the process, right? Back to the book. There is no shortcut to becoming a good trader. You must put in the time and effort to get there. Along the way, you will make the mistakes that will ultimately form the foundation of your trading style and philosophy. By suffering from these mistakes, you can learn what not to do, and as such are able to develop a more effective trading instinct. If you are just getting started, you do not have the luxury of that experience. So really, making mistakes is the only way to learn, right? So when you start out something, I'm learning a new skill. My dad was showing me some things. He's got a really nice wood shop, and he was showing me how to make some things, and I have no idea what I'm doing. So he's like saying, try this, do that, and I'm making mistakes. It's my first time using a machine. It's my first time doing this type of cut. It's my first time doing whatever, and if you're just starting trading, like don't get so hard on yourself. Like, how are you supposed to know exactly how to play a bull flag or a bull pennant or a double bottom or double top or how to buy, how to set your stop loss? Any of those things, like you have to, it's just trial and error. And a lot of it is confidence that comes from doing things in the past, doing them successfully, or even doing them unsuccessfully and knowing what to avoid, right? That's what I say in the book. I say, by suffering from these mistakes, you can learn what not to do. And as such, are able to develop a more effective trading instinct, right? That trading instinct, that muscle memory, I talk about that. And it comes from experience. Like if you don't have that, go easy on yourself, right? That's the whole point of this chapter. Back to the book, quote, step 1 in trading is to survive your mistakes, right? Survive your mistakes. If you can survive your mistakes and you still have money funds to trade with, you can continue to learn, right? You need to stay in the game, and that is such an important point. Veteran traders will talk about it all the time. Survival. It's all about survival. It's a marathon. It's a marathon of marathons. It's a long journey. Don't shoot yourself in the foot and kind of go all in at once and give yourself no room to work with. You need to survive your mistakes. That's what it's all about. Back to the book. After a big loss, it is easy to get down on yourself, which leads to a loss of confidence. As this process plays out, failure becomes a self-fulfilling process. To avoid developing this bad habit, give yourself enough time to both make mistakes and learn from them. Survive and stay in the game so you can learn to become a successful trader. Sometimes you make a mistake so bad that all you want to do is get back to even. Deep in the red, you swear up and down that you will never make this mistake again. promising to learn your lesson. If you do eventually get out of that mess, remember this feeling and do not let it go. Have you ever been there? I've been there so many times where one mistake leads to another. It always does. And you break a rule. Like for example, you add to a losing trade, or you don't respect your stop loss. Something like that. That will balloon. It will make it harder and harder to get out of that mess. And you're in that trade. It's really red. You're asking yourself, how did I get into this position? Why did I risk so much? You're like, wow, I'm stupid. Why did I do that? And you're really hard on yourself. And you say, if I can just get out of this, if I can just escape this moment, if I can just escape this bad situation and put myself in, then I'll never make the mistake again, right? Remember that feeling, because sometimes you do get out of those mistakes. Sometimes you do get out of those jams that you put yourself in. And, remember the feeling. Remember the feeling of being stuck and wanting to avoid that moment and wanting to get out of that situation. Because if you get out of it and you don't remember that feeling and how bad it was, you're probably going to find yourself back in that situation again, repeating those mistakes and kind of, setting yourself up for failure again. So, like I said, if you do eventually get out of that mess, remember this feeling and do not let it go. Do not let that feeling go. So you make that imprint, on yourself that you're like, nope, I'm not going to do this because I don't want to feel that way. Nope, I'm not going to break this rule because I don't want to get into that situation again. Right? Remember that feeling. Back to the book, and we're finishing this chapter with a quote. Just because you played the last trade poorly doesn't mean you have to play the next trade poorly. Learn from your mistakes, but do not let them haunt you, right? Do not let them haunt you. Just because you're on a bad streak, or just because you just finished a bad trade, it doesn't mean the next one's going to be bad, right? Go easy on yourself. Give yourself a chance to learn from that error, to learn from that mistake, and prepare for the next challenge, because there will be another challenge. There will be another key decision point where the chart is going to give you a signal, where the price is going to give you a signal, and you want to pay attention to that. If you're long and you have a critical support break, you want to pay attention to that, right? In the past, you've ignored it and you just got into trouble, and then you said, oh, how did I get into this situation, right? Learn from your mistakes and don't let them haunt you. So you have the opportunity to do well in the next trade. You have the opportunity to start fresh and to start clean. Don't let your mistakes haunt you. Don't get too hard on yourself. You need to give yourself time to both make mistakes and to learn from mistakes. And that's kind of the point of this chapter. Lesson 5, go easy on yourself. As I mentioned, this is the 50-part free video series based on my best-selling book, Trading Wisdom, 50 Lessons Every Trader Should Know. Available now on Amazon in both paperback and Kindle format. I also have my first published work. I was unfortunately diagnosed with cancer back in 2017, and I underwent chemotherapy and radiation for lymphoma. And then one of my loved ones was diagnosed with cancer, and I took care of her. And I wrote about that experience in my book, My Battles with Cancer. If you would like, I'm more than happy to send you a free copy. I will email you a free copy of that book. So just reach out to me on Twitter. You can find me at Big Cheds. That's where most people know me, from Twitter at Big Cheds. You can, of course, find me on YouTube at Cheds Trading. I would just ask that you please do like and subscribe the video. Feel free to share it as well. If you do enjoy my teachings and you really like to kind of take it to the next level, I would encourage you to check out Bitcoin Live, the best-in-class educational platform for crypto, where I am a founding analyst. I have several years of videos up there for you now to view as soon as you join. So definitely encourage you to check that out. On YouTube, I have kind of a free version where I'm doing some educational live streams. I'll be doing one every 6 weeks. So this next one will probably, looks like it's going to be end of August. So I'll do one in about 3 weeks. I'll do my next educational live stream. And of course, the book, the playlist, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is lesson 5. I'll get this uploaded right now. Definitely check that out on my YouTube channel. I want to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you were enjoying the free video series. And I wish you well. And we'll talk again soon. Big Cheds out.